So in terms of like the sociology class, and I'm pretty bright. I'm misunderstood. So I went to, and I didn't know we could get scholarships because we didn't have them. So I thought because I'm not, it's there. So I remember they were showing it there. Oh yeah. You all because I had put in everything. No, they're not. They're not. Okay. So I finally, I was the assistant superintendent for 4 years, and I was in charge of Valley and Town. I got and I started him all of the we were basic, but learning came easy. But Dad used to say, the only thing I can do is education. So we went to a during public school. I have some friends that we opened up program in 1953. And I told him, hey, let's go, now that we're all turning public schools program. We go to the program, put that in turn very, very cold. But like I said, we've been friends for 63 years. Yes, so, and then we went to Park, we went to Park in 1958. And I was in charge of that area. I used to have to. And I was no, I didn't train, but you know how many with parents from and I beautiful now, I love it. And I saw that we're getting new merch. We got new merch. We just went ahead and finished her this year with the children. We're bring them we're getting the furniture now. When I want to do a computer class, I get very frustrated. You know, I have I'm teaching government. I was the original. Oh, really? Yeah. I was your assistant before. And I was your assistant before. I was your assistant for law. I said, but the Porter, my grandkids was for him. But my son-in-law was at one basketball coach. So they were both. I did my student teaching with Coach Weiss. Yeah. Well, if you did not, you don't know, right? You know, so you can have. Just the oldest one, he went to that's we got. Oh, really? And he told me, he said, I will be done. I said, no, you said you were going to give me money. I said, yeah. Wow, that's awesome. It was really, I had sister was graduate before. She got a full ride scholarship in Austin. She wants to go into law. She's doing an internship with the government this summer. That's awesome. And then I have to brag that my other one, my three daughters were friends. They say, and my told her sister Hannah, her daughter's salary Victoria Denver. And if you want to say, if I don't want to continue to go for you. I'm going to take this.
did my
That's all.
Bless you.
No, you're good.
Very glad to see there was this article about libraries and all things going. I don't know if you had a chance to look at it.
I love him.
No, when I saw the other dog.
No, I want to come to you.
So, we got with it, but it's kind of cool because a lot of like they listen to nationally, and this is what your library can do for you. And there's a lot of things there.
Did you see the student from St. Joe? I was in Houston, but one of my former students that was in Brownsville, was a billionaire. And he donated $1 million to.
I saw it.
To St. Joe.
I saw it.
To St. Joe. Not really, on East Side. And there's an article that came out and, so kind of million, yes. No, billion. But I don't know, I have to see this.
That Spider-Man movie so fast. With our vendor, that they released it, and we can't show it till the day of the release, but we already have it in the house. Yeah, that's really cool. And then it was, well, Kitty didn't talk about it, but it was fell right in with our comic book, day, our comic book day.
Oh, that's
So it was
right.
really- Yeah, that's Saturday.
I saw with Running America this morning that they're gonna start the movie from Downtown Abbey. And if you go to the matinee, it's cheap for 30% off. I didn't realize it's $16 to go to the movies. I haven't gone to the movies. I used to go, but not anymore.
That's when you join the movie club members. And you get a free ticket to go into my, whatever, in the evening show.
But I haven't caught up with Netflix.
It's 20% off of your concessions.
Where they get. It's not, they're gonna get your concessions back.
It's like $25 for a travel popcorn.
That's exactly what they said in Good Morning, but they'll make it up in the concessions. And they're going to eating the popcorn showing this, that's true.
And now they have alcohol, right? Okay, alcohol.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't gone.
I haven't gone, but I saw.
You can sit right there. Except you're gonna give everybody back. I really want to. I used to be one of those on Monday nights.
Go by myself.
Really? Or during the pandemic, everything's.
Get away. I know what I have to tell my, so you don't have to,
Oh, yeah.
With your same thing, you can get them later.
What I used to tell my family, what do you want for Mother's Day, Mom? I said, I want a day of peace and quiet. I want to go lock up myself in my bedroom. I want to read, watch TV, just open the door to feed me, and that's it. I never got it. No, I have to the point of sometimes. You're an attorney, right? My granddaughter applied for a scholarship and she got $5,000. She got to prepare for Girl Scout.
Oh,
And she's gonna do an internship at the government.
okay. You have to study for that also. And you have to pay a lot of money for this.
5,000?
5,000, wow. Well, it'll be worth it. I think I went on the cheap several times. But yeah, people who really put in the time for it.
She got a scholarship, so she didn't have to worry about it. How can kids afford it?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if you have one that's going to college, even if the income is 125 or below, the kids get free tuition at over here in Edinburgh. In Edinburgh, and there's a bus that will take the kids over there and bring them. That's where the only kids are going.
We go ahead and come in order at 5:30. Our first order of business are the minutes of April 11th. I don't know if everybody has had a chance to review the minutes. Are there any changes that need to be made? Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Do we have a second? I second. We can go ahead and vote. Those of you that want to approve the minutes? Aye. Anybody opposed? Our minutes for April 11th have been approved. Item number 3 on the agenda is the citizen comments.
No citizen comments.
No citizen comments? Item number 4, parks and recreation presentation.
Unfortunately, we're gonna have to skip this one
Okay.
tonight. Our presenter had a last minute meeting that conflicted, so it's not gonna be able to make it.
Okay. Item number 5, member appointments for vacant position.
Okay, so we will be going out for appointments this June. I cannot say it's gonna be the first or the second one. The commission has yet decided if they want to present them on the first meeting or the second meeting of June. And it's only for the one vacancy that we have, since our board should be 7 members. And currently we have 6 members. So if you know anybody else, we're still taking applications. Anybody else would like to participate in the board, but the position will only be for the remainder of the 2 years. It's a year and a half. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it's going to be, a year and a half that they will be on the board.
And they go online to fill out the vacancy?
Yes, they go on. And it's a volunteer, I think it's a volunteer form on the city website.
And is it a specific district that you can come from?
No specific district. Right now I have 6 applications and they're pretty much all District 3. So it doesn't have to be any specific district.
When I told Miss Green, remember she was on record maybe for the life.
Mhm.
When is the application going to close?
I have to have everything submitted by May 27th, but honestly, the commission can choose at the very last minute to appoint even if somebody who just submitted their application has happened before. So they pretty much up until the day of the meeting.
Item number 6, the library marquee. Wanted to just let you know that the marquee has been installed over at Southmont, and that is the final product there. We are pending a couple of things with it. We're still pending the electrical. Right now, I'm in the stage of working with PUB in order to get the reconnection going. We've already done the spot check for any other wires that are around the area, and so right now it's on PUB's hands. Once they are able to permit our electrician to go in to do the new wiring, then we will go ahead and contact PUB again, so they can connect after the wiring is done. And then the final thing would be going back to Science and More, who is the vendor for our company, so we can get in contact with the technician to get our LED screen going. And that way we can start promoting our events on the screen.
So what do you foresee as a timeline that this is gonna get done?
I'm hoping that it will get done within the next 2 months, because
2 months?
PUB did tell me that they have quite a bit of projects on their hands. So, if I can get it faster, I'm crossing my fingers for it, but based on their feedback, it's gonna be a bit.
So it's PUB that's the holdup.
Right now, yes. But we're working on it, constantly contacting them for updates, so I'm hoping that in itself will get them moving a little bit faster.
I've actually tried it on Southmost, and I can actually see it now. I really like it. The other one was too high and covered by the palm
Yeah.
tree, so this one, it is very visible, so I like that a lot. You can see where the entrance is.
So was the other one taken down?
Yes, the alarm was taken down. We're actually able to use the same pole, they just cut it down, but and then they installed the new sign, and then the library portion is just a cover that went around the pole. But yeah, when they installed it in and of itself, it was just like at that moment, it's like, oh my gosh, it looks so pretty. And then we were driving by and I'm like, I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the vendor?
Item number 7, we have the library report. We're going to go with youth services. Maybe we'll be something. So we have several projects, which included the free comic book day that discuss more about it. So we had Dia del Niño, Muffins with Mom, and free comic book day. Yep. So for Dia del Niño, we did have a local author come in, which was Jenna Hectorberg. She visited both branches and she did read her book, Music, You Can Too. And she had a game for the kids, which was Twister, but she added musical notes on it, so children were able to learn and play at the same time. And we did have Muffins with Mom, which was on May 4th at the main branch. We are going to have Southwest branch this Tuesday. So moms were able to, it was a regular story time, but we just added, we bought muffins for them and refreshments, and they were able to take a photo. So, the feedback I heard from that was very good. We did have about 54 people attend, so that was pretty good number for a story time. So,
Very good.
yeah.
Curious as to what book was tied into it.
I don't know exactly the books, but I know related to like mothers or like love. So normally or stuff.
Putting them wrong. Yeah.
Right, yeah. And we did have our free comic book day, which was this Saturday. We had it at both branches. We did get to have Spider-Man as one of the Marvel characters. We did also give free comic books, and both children and adults were able to participate in the trivia game, which was very fun, and they all enjoyed it. And we did also have a cosplay contest, which was posted on social media, and the public was able to vote for the winner.
What was the attendance at?
That one was for Southmost was 134, and for Maine was 269.
Great. We're starting to get a lot more kids in this office. Thank you very much.
And it's the first time we've done this.
That's what I'm saying. That's fantastic.
And that's just some little pictures. The ones where the crowd is, and that's actually the trivia game. So they really did enjoy it, which was very fun. We had some technical difficulties, but we were able to, have them going. And then we do have some contest winners, which that little boy on the right won the Thor hammer. And then he was like,
Yeah, and then we did have Spider-Man, contest on the left, and then some of the ones in the middle were the ones that, from the trivia game. So the more was the cosplay, and the other one was from the trivia game winners.
So you said this was the first year y'all done this?
Yes.
Any, I guess, lessons learned about what you want to do again, do differently?
Probably would be the trivia game. I mean, it was fun, but we just have to, we had it, like, for it to display on the screen. That didn't work out, because I guess the way, the screen that we would see was different from what people were seeing on the computers. So that one was kind of, a difficult, thing that we encountered, but I mean, we just ended up going old style with print them out and give it to the person to answer, and then we did, sort of like a raffle, and the kids were able to.
Very good.
The trivia reminds me of, has there ever been like a scavenger hunt for information? Ever? Yes.
So I know
I know with my high school for orientation, for the freshmen, they would give them a scavenger hunt. And then it was about finding information.
yeah, I know we did one.
No,
During the fall, that we did.
Yeah,
You know, like a way to get to know the library.
yes, I think we even did one where, we did a scavenger hunt, like, within certain books.
Yeah.
So we were able to, for them to find, a book that related to the answer or like the trivia question.
You consider a scavenger hunt having to do with comics or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Moving on to adult services.
Hello, Member Gomez. So we did the Mother's Day event at both branches as well for just an hour. And we were giving out gifts to moms. And just to encourage also for people to be sure that they have a library card, we also keep that on the site. And so we had moms come in with their kids. And so when they came over with us, we were giving them little packages that either had cream or a candle, and a little Happy Mother's Day message. Then there was also a craft that was done. It was just to build a roast. And I don't know if you can see the roast there, but that's what they were doing, and they really liked it. They were interested in that roast. We had about 17 adults here at Maine, but I think there were more that were sitting around in the area while they were waiting to get their gifts or just coloring in the tables with the children. And at Southmost, it was 30 adults recorded.
Wow.
So, and they didn't mention that it was also too, probably because of story time. There was story time at that session. Maybe that also helps with the numbers. And in both, at Maine, we had 10 children, and at Southmost, 22 children. So we are getting a lot of numbers at Southmost. Yeah, they really liked it, and I had also asked one of our members here, Kathy, she helps me out with the numbers, because I was asking her, and I was curious to, like, whenever we had mothers come in that did not have a library card, we said, okay, well, look, here you go. This is your gift. Happy Mother's Day. And for you to get a library card, just go to circulation and you'll be good. Like, okay, thank you. And so they would go there, and I was just curious as to how many actually did that. And so I know at least here at Maine, we got at least 9 adults who signed up for new library cards. And there was 5 that did it for kids. 5 for kids. At Southmost, it showed 2 adults and 4 children instead. So I kind of feel that it did work out. to encourage more card holders, library card holders. And that's, I guess this was our first mother thing, or maybe there were other ones too, but maybe not like this. But it is
And
my
this is
very
the
first
first year that we do something specifically with May moms.
Is there a way to help me out here as far as tying in with the library card and the internet services as far as what's available to them with the library card? Is there a connection?
Well, they give me the library card in order to access the internet.
Right, is that something that is understood when they have received their library card, or is that something noted somewhere?
We generally, whenever they're signing up for library card, we go ahead and let them know what the card is useful for, and in there it's mentioned that it's good at both libraries, it's good for checking out, as well as using our computers.
But is it still, it used to be the case, you could get a guest number to use the
I guess
computers?
that's,
Is that still the
that
case?
is still the case, yes.
So you need a card.
No, but we try to highly encourage them to get the card. That way they don't have to stop by the desk every time to get a guest pass.
Very good question. Do you have any, is that sort of keep track of how many people are requesting guest passes?
We don't necessarily keep track for the guest passes. It's just the whole number that the system picks up for every time that the computer is logged into.
Yeah, I mean, I was one of those, we had a card, we forgot it.
No.
Guest pass.
Yeah. Well, now when we turned it around a little bit in relation to that, if you forget you have a library card and you forget it, once you have a type of ID, we can look you up in the system and provide you the library card information, so you're able to log in with the number instead.
Brenda, I love the turnout that you're having, quite a difference. Now that we have so many parents attending, can we promote friends to the library over there? Because that's a problem, nobody wants to drive all the way, but if we could get some of those parents to volunteer, I do some of the training. So can we do something to promote it? When you have them there, say, because the room is beautiful, I went to visit it and it's small. When we were there last month. So can we please try to do that? And if you have enough volunteers, let me know and I'll talk to Olivia Rodriguez, and we can do the training to get them going for the parents to go to, and they can buy their books, 50 cents, 25 cents, take them all, or for the kids to go in. So can we try to?
And we're looking for volunteers for friends.
Yes, if we can put it and explain to them because they won't know what it is. So because we have a lot of donation of books.
Okay,
Thank you.
We can do that.
And are y'all considering doing a Father's Day?
Yes.
Yes.
That was actually one of the things that we discussed. If we're doing something for Mother's Day, then we need to make sure to do something for Father's Day. So that is in the works. And it's also going to be embedded within our summer reading program as well. So.
I was thinking it'd be great, if Elon Musk would, donate some money to all the area that we have over there, to put something for kids to go over there. But then, of course, I'm not a personal friend of this, but maybe we can find that.
Thank you so much. I remember there's Major Street Service.
Hi guys, Lasso, supervisor. So 3D printing has continued to grow. And if we look at the bottom left, we have the numbers broken down by month. So you could see, especially in Maine, we have continued growth. In Southmost, we did go down a little bit. But that's mostly because I'm bouncing back and forth, so I've been able to bring some of the prints. I print them here and then I take them back to the patrons over there. So the numbers are going to be balancing out as I've been balancing between the two branches, because I've been balancing my time between the two branches as well. I want to make sure that we have art services available to our patrons at both branches. And then on top of our patron requests, we've also continued to work with other departments. This past Saturday, all of those are 3D prints that we made with our 3D printers right outside of here. We have Spider-Man, Ahsoka from Star Wars, Batman, and Venom. And all of those were printed with the machines that we have. So it helps promote in those big events, like, hey, you could also come in and print these things. That's how we're also getting enticing people to come in as well. On top of that, I've also been coordinating with our outreach person. I've been able to give her a couple of vouchers. So whenever she does outreach, I've had a couple, I think I've had 3 people come in with those vouchers for small 3D print, so that they become familiar with that process and are able to do it without the risk of, well, how much is it going to cost me? And then I still give them the estimate of this is how much it would cost for something this size, so that they get that idea. And I have had one of those people that got one free voucher come back and request a face print. So we're also growing in that sense.
Very quick, sorry, I was talking to last meeting, minutes. So the way it works is people, they're charged a certain fee, or they come out with their own materials or something.
Yeah, so the way that we're doing it right now is the person will submit the request for the item through our library website. I process it through our system here, and that tells me how many grams of filament printout would require. Once I have that number, I reach back out to the person requesting the print and tell them the numbers, and then they could approve or deny at that point. If they deny, I try to work with them and tell them we could make it smaller, and that'll bring it down to this price. Or if they just tell me, you know what, I'm no longer interested, we don't bother them. But I am in our terms and conditions, we do specify that there is a 15 cents per gram charge. And all the grams is dependent on how much density you want in your 3D print and the size of your print.
So what are some of the like ranges you see in terms of how much it costs?
This past week, I've had 3 people who do just small prints, like little rings and stuff like that. Those were 50 cents, 75 cents. And I have had patrons also print busts the size of the Spider-Man that we gave out. Those are around the $30 to $45 range, depending on the detail that goes into it.
And then, I'm just curious, is it mostly, I don't know, like fun stuff, or is it school projects? Do you have a sense of sort of personal interest, like what?
The majority of the print requests that we've been getting have been mostly by collectors and cosplayers, so it'll be more personal fun stuff. I have had two of the 3 small prints that I did this past week were for school projects, where their teacher told them that if they actually came into the library and printed it out, they would get additional, I think it was like bonus points that they were going to get on their final exam. So the ASD is also helping out in that sense, where some of their teachers are promoting the services that the library has as well. The next big news that we have is that the renovations for South Bronx branch have begun. It used to be a fairly small picture. I wish I had a before picture, but I never to take it before they destroyed it. Bottom left is prior to the renovation beginning. And then the rest of the pictures are as the renovations go, and you can see how the new walls are coming up. We're going to have 2 large windows, one facing the children's area to get the children interested in makerspace as well, and then one facing the teens area, and that'll help open up the area and have people, because one of the questions that I constantly had with the prior layout of the makerspace was, well, what's going on in that creepy light in that creepy room, because it was a small room with a window, and it was like mildly dark. So I had a lot of people that were concerned when I would invite people in there, and I was like, it's nothing weird. It's the makerspace area. So now with the renovation, it'll open up the area and it'll help people. It'll be more inviting to our patrons. We've also been working with several departments within the library and coming up with special events ourselves. This month, we're going to be doing pop-up cards, and I wish the GIF was working, but it's not. Basically, that card on the bottom right, when they open it, it's going to open up and show a bunch of flowers. Initial question I got was, is this for Mother's Day? No, it's not. It's for Mayflowers. So it's not directly a Mother's Day event, but it is something that it's aimed at younger children and even teens, where they'll be able to make this for themselves or the image on the top right, that is a trophy that I created on one of the online free 3D programs. And those trophies will be given to participants for a picture contest that we'll be having throughout the month of May, and that's going to be hosted by the adult adult department, sorry. And then the trophies that you saw on the 30 page, those were also made by us, so we've been working with them. And then I've also been working closely with Courtney to acquire more grants, so we can try to expand the amount of the types of services that we have available to our patrons. And yeah, that's pretty much all I've been doing this month.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
You say that you have to be taking the printers back and forth?
No.
Oh,
The
okay.
printers stay at their locations, but the, I have access to the print requests through my email, so I print them depending on which location I'm at. And once the item is done, that's when I take it with me back over to Top, if that's where the person requested to
And the
go.
reason that Brownsville is going between libraries because our other makerspace at Pfizer left us. And so right now we have an open position. We are taking applications and hopefully we'll be able to contribute something next month.
What are the modifications for it to be able to?
We don't know them on
No,
the
that's
top of my
okay.
head, but
Do we get from, how do they get?
if the position is posted already on our city website under job opportunities, and it does have all the qualifications.
Okay, I'll check it out.
Yeah, but it is open. I believe it closes at the end of this month, May 30th. So hopefully by next month, we're able to interview and hopefully find someone to help us out. But in the meantime, he is going between both sides.
Have you had a lot of applications for that?
They haven't told us at this, HR has not told us at this point how many applications we have. Are there any other questions?
You're doing a great job, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The outreach.
For considering library services coordinator. So one of the collaborations we did this month was with our SNAP board, or special needs advisory board for the city of Brownsville. They requested that we do a disability meeting. Some of the collaborations we did for that is cross-posting of our transit services as well as doing additional cards and logos for our disability awareness inclusion books that were added to our services. So on the right-hand side, you see our Access 316 tool for this specific event. On the left side, you see part of our transit services flyers that went out, as well as on Facebook and online. Next slide, please. These are the displays that we showed at both branches, and if you were listening to the state of the city address, we also had that in the background during the promo of our Southmost library, so you got to see our disability inclusion books. A lot of this is showing not only that there are distinct authors, but to have people like you in specific books and specific stories that you're able to read. Next slide, please. As I stated, we also did an inclusion story time at both branches. You can see that we pulled up one of the books on big screen, so we were able to decide and show a little bit more visibility. So the book that's there is What Happened to You. It's about Pirate Joe who's missing his life and how he takes that question and asks him all the time and he just wants to be his life. We did craft time, which included a unicorn craft with Southmost and a pop-up braille craft here at Maine. Our total number of patrons that went to our inclusion story time was 54, and we added a total of over $1,000 for physical collection and $500 for electronic collection as part of this. Next slide. Then we go to our physical outreaches. This is the career expo that we have in front of you. As Mr. Lethero mentioned, we were able to give out one of those 3D print vouchers at this particular event. We were able to reach an additional 329 students
at this event, as well as place inclusion on our Facebook to show reading in different mediums, which included not just storytelling through tattoos, because one of the teachers wanted to show us all of their favorite books which were on their own. Next slide, please. We were also at Market Square for Dia de los Niños as part of Roca and the Religions collaboration. So at that event, we were able to reach 557 patrons out and about, letting them know what all we have to offer. We also did a couple of Facebook Lives while we were there to show different departments and event collaborations. I got to see a couple of our board members there together as well, so we were able to provide one of the events that we did in collaboration with one of the schools was our Harmony event, where we did dress everything in read. As you can see, our children's librarians, Susan and Kira, did an awesome job, not just reading, but giving inclusion with their students and activities. We also got certifications. So they really appreciated them going and being to children. That were 168 additional outreach people. Next slide, please. Okay. So that added our total of another 1,084 for the month. Outreach after building them all. And we're going to have any additional questions for Susan?
Is this the first time that we do one for children still?
This is the first time that we do disability book inclusion. That's because the SNAP board requested it of us. And due to the timeline that they gave us to be able to be included for this, we did do stuff that stays more towards our wheelhouse, right? We adapted our story time, we had a book display, we kind of put other city departments between the past services, and we want to get more feedback from them, and we also cross-post on their own grouping with that board on Facebook. One of the really cool things I thought that occurred from this too is the people who do disability booking actually cross-post a lot of what we were posting and said really awesome things about the city of Brownsville and what we're doing to include this from this year. So there's more we can do with more time planned next year. So we're willing to hear feedback and other ways to adapt and improve our solutions.
That really, you were able to speak to Laura Albright from Heart.
Yes,
And she is the one who is in charge of the inclusion caboose.
correct.
And is there any way in which maybe you have worked together for programming and as far as the type of outreach?
So they have worked together with our children's department for some of the different little events, and we're also planning for the summer, correct?
Yes.
So they will be included in some of our summertime events. It's going to be whether or not we're at similar collaborations for specific outreaches to that future.
I was going to say, is it going to be reciprocated because they too are going to have programming at two different areas for the summer? So is that something in which you would also venture out and collaborate in that regard as far as their summer program?
Yes, depending on their science and the maximum investors, if we'd be willing to, but they haven't finalized any specific events. Locations instead of ours. So it's
I
kind
know
of
Brownsville Historical Association is also helping in on that opportunity as far as their outreach. So it'd be nice if we come to. I think we can get on with it. I know they have puppets.
So the book week, the disability book week, is that like a state thing, a national week, or is that just a week you'll pick? Or?
So it's both national and other, like worldwide, they have it as a different week. So it's something that started last year, and they had a week, and this year more cities have gotten involvement. Some of the involvement they had were like city second readings. So they would get a classified day. The city of Brownsville actually did Autism Month proclamation this year. We kind of felt like that was kind of taking back into that type of inclusion. Also because the staff work is fairly new. They'll have more of an opportunity to liaison with other departments and the higher ups in the city for the board to be able to do that.
It'll be around the same time.
It's the last week of April. They actually started the parade. We had a different meeting. We kept it up for 2 weeks before and then a week after.
As far as another opportunity for outreach, I don't know if the email was sent out as far as the National Civics Day. Competition is this Wednesday. It is the first of many firsts. We had over 400, I'd say Brownsville had over 400 applicants, middle schoolers. They had participated in the essay competition and we're down to the 10 finalists. And they have the, I guess it's like the spelling competition version, but it's on civics. And so really would like a good attendance. Washington is coming in and we'll be taking some footage. And so if there's any way in which we can spread the word, I'd appreciate it. This is hosted by the team. Thank you.
When is that?
That is this Wednesday.
I'm gonna forward everybody the email right now, that she forwarded me. You should see it in your email.
And two, there is a need, if you know of anybody, or maybe, I know there's sort of projects, they're trying to fill complimentary boxes that promote, and I was thinking then that maybe issuing, that would be an opportunity as far as outreach, as far as our programming, placing, having flyers or the calendar for the summer to be placed in those boxes.
Yeah, the kind of, I was thinking the time would be the.
Pencil, bookmark, you know, anything like that.
You know, one thing, when
And
my kids are a little older now, but when they were younger, some of the pediatricians, one sent out Dr. Rocco, would have boards of all the summer camp flyers. Because you're always trying to find stuff for your kids to do in Facebook or WhatsApp, just trying to meet each other. But right, definitely there's such thing as flyers out. So it's, I know I try to book my kids every week. Something. You don't want them home. Well, no, because, you know.
That's how I got to go to the movies by myself.
Yeah, some really do that. I mean, it's really good. Sometimes, I think there's a lot of summer camps in Brownsville, but a lot don't necessarily get the word out for what's going on, you know. Some are better than others.
For our summer reading program, the kids are very attentive to the UNC librarians and there's including calendars, which you see about, we have a trifold information package. You fact, you get the numbers that are expected to be there from the organization, from the chamber, and I'll be able to send those, because those are
very big, they have 100 boxes they would like to fill with goodies. So 100 of something, 100 of another. If you know of any businesses that would like to contribute, just hodgepodge what represents Brownsville. Out there at Brownsville.
Where will we take all our materials to the chamber college?
To the chamber.
I wonder, you all have done 100% improvement. I mean, I love what y'all are doing. But in order to reach, like what you said, to schools, I wonder if somebody from the library could present at a principal's meeting of the summer or the things that are being provided at the library. So we can go ahead and reach the kids, because I don't think it is not because of you. I don't know how the librarians are, you know, giving the information. Is that a possibility?
Like a region one.
No, Brownsville. Brownsville, because we have a principal's meeting and if before the summer is out, that they can talk to the libraries, because like you said, the kids need to be stay busy. And what we're providing is fantastic. I'll talk to the,
Do you know who we would need to reach out to?
I'll find out for you. I don't know who's in charge of curriculum now. So I'll check it.
Curriculum, I believe it's Dr. Norma Ibarra.
Okay, I know.
The BASC used to put out a flyer or something we would put out, we would give to the kids. Hopefully. If we could get our stuff just listed there. I don't know.
Yes, but what I have seen is that we're providing this information and it's not being sent down. But if you go to the top, then it's going to the top.
That's the thing, when you go to the top, they're inundated with so much that it never trickles down. So sometimes it's best to go ahead and go directly to the librarians as far as getting the information.
It's not
It
very.
might carry more. Like I picked up the phone, I picked up the phone and called curriculum to get the information out. And it was, they were actually, it was not an email towards them, they were talking to someone. And so that seemed to, I don't know, grasp the information better, and then followed up with an email. I don't know if that makes sense. Directly dividing up, elementary, middle school, high school, and just divvy it up, making phone calls. I'd be glad to, help out in that regard too.
I think the best person to contact would probably be the parent liaison, because they have direct contact with the parents, they have their meetings, they send out, emails, information about what.
Yeah, we also do a daycare with like the crafts and adult crafts, and we also include the calendars in there, so, we do give that, that's one of the ways that we do, let them know. So, yeah, for their daycare,
And private schools have special programs in the summer as well. That's amazing.
Yeah, we have Julie Academy has another outreach that we're can go to, so hopefully we can also promote our summer student program.
And to some of the BISD schools credits, they have been cross-posting a lot of our events on Facebook, such as POC and some of the other middle schools. I've definitely shared everything. And try to get more of their students to engage,
Well, from experience, I can tell you that some taxes better go to the top because it has some fun, because we have tried working down here at that level. So I have contact with county administration. Let me see if we can get to flow that we can go ahead and, talk to the top and make sure that it gets done. Because I think we're doing a fantastic job providing services to the kids that they need to know about it. And that because I'm amazed at the amount of kids now in the Southwest area, how we're getting it out there. So that's exactly what I'm saying. So we can use all sorts of avenues to be able to reach it. All sorts of avenues. Like you said, reaching the parents and doing all giving to the parents that you have over there.
All right, thank you so much. I just want to follow up on what Ms. Sayana said. You all are doing an amazing job. As well, I'm very pleased with the numbers that we're having. I mean, it has definitely increased. So thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Okay, so are there any other comments?
New business? I'd like to bring something. What is it that we have planned for the summer? Not what we had before, like, what is it that we're having at the main library? We're not having showing movies and doing all that and anything like, what is being done?
We have for the summer reading program, we do have several activities planned. We do have presenters. I know one of the sea turtle is coming in. We're having an aerial show.
Yeah, the aerial show, a theater, presentation, a magic show. We're also gonna have, we're trying to have, an activity almost every day, which could, it ranges from like an escape room, scavenger one, which goes back to the horizon. And then we are gonna try to, or I'm trying to complete the rock garden so I can, kick off during at the end of summer reading. So that's something that I'm working on. We're also doing, we have our,
Let's see, the Brownsville beautification committee, they might be interested in helping out in that respect too. If you, Brownsville beautification committee.
My concern, Brenda, in the previous years, because you know I volunteered for the library, so I was here throughout the year. And we can't help it because we do provide services. But what used to happen is that the daycares would just come bring the kids busloads. And it wasn't usually because we're open to them. And I mean, it was not a good program. And not because it was you, I don't know, that's what I'm asking. Is it gonna be the same way? Because they would just come and that's what what we've been doing. The summer, not our summer programs. So what daycares and what? They were all bring, can you explain?
Yeah, we would have our programs, some of the local daycares would come in to attend the programs as well. So, I don't know if that will be the case this year in Sayara. We are promoting, again, the program. If they so choose to come in at that time, well, they're more than welcome, but we're trying to make it to where South Mills, it's an open area, so we're able to see people better and they're all able to participate in the different shows. Here at Maine, we are having some in the main meeting room and some will be dispersed throughout the library. But I mean, the entire program is open to everyone.
No, that's what I'm saying, but it was all in that room and there, and it wasn't your fault. It's just that the daycare is just running in chaos and they would just drop them off and that, you know, it was horrible for you guys. So,
Which one were you talking about?
the one that meeting,
Oh.
Very
We all have movies. So.
Yes.
but it's not gonna be just movies like before.
No, it is going to be different presenters. Makerspace is also having some activities for them as well. That is science-based, so there, it's mainly a mixture of educational and fun programs for them.
It was like the parents take them to those daycares and then,
And
yeah,
the daycares would bring maybe 1 or 2 people to supervise 20 kids or so.
I felt for you because it was.
Yes. We have absolutely wonderful staff that was able to handle them and
I feel for you.
we got this, we got this,
It's
it happened. I don't know what the outcome will be this summer. I do know that I have had some people saying that they feel really happy that we're coming back to in-person programming this summer, so I'm hoping the attendance will be there as well.
Yeah, because he's already writing his calendar.
No, we'll be prepared.
Well, I didn't.
We got
You want to, abusing you guys.
And are there any, just curious about any specific STEM-related activities for older kids?
Yes, there will be, definitely, do you want to give a little bit of preview for that?
Yeah, so, it is, I didn't want to aim it directly at the older kids, so a lot of the STEM-based projects that we'll be having will be because of, or through Makerspace. But we'll be having like a DIY boat race, where they will be given foam, straws, and a balloon, and we're just like, make a boat, figure it out. So it is a lot of the like cognitive and trying to solve a problem, and then at the end, trying to find a more efficient shape to get your boat from point A to point B, and then the winners will get free 3D prints out of that, amongst other prizes as well. And then the other program to kind of, the other program is to promote math, science. What I'm hoping, what we're planning for is we're gonna have a large canvas. And on that canvas, I'm gonna have thumbtacks poked through it. And then the word Makerspace tipped off. But basically what we're hoping to achieve with that is children are gonna be launching balloons that have paint in them onto that canvas, and with the thumbtacks, it'll burst. And at the end, we'll remove all the thumbtacks and the tape that will tape off the area. It's just Makerspace, and they'll be able to sign that. So that helps promote math because you have to kind of calculate the projection of your balloon. And then it also helps with strength, force, and all the other different factors that go into that. It also promotes art because you're creating an artistic piece. And it also is a way for children and adults of all ages to get their name onto a piece of art that will be displayed in our makerspace areas.
Well, and the only way I said, when I say older kids, I even think, maybe, because I know the younger kids, it's more hands-on, more crafts, but even like upper elementary, middle school, maybe in high school. But yeah, I think we always need more STEM activities. I know, as an example, it's one of my pet peeves is like, UTR, UTR, you have the campus here, right? But they're, the summer camps, anything segue, they're all under. There's nothing here for Brownsville kids at the university. That's just one example, right? And so, we've actually been one more out of city for like some stuff, Austin, Houston, for traveling, but yeah, there really isn't nothing in that. Once you start getting to upper elementary,
Yeah, and a lot of our normal programming throughout the year also revolves around STEM. So this past month we did have a program which revolved around how to create your own 3D modeling, and that was a pretty successful event, especially in the Southmost branch. I had, let's say, it was about 20 people over there, and then I compared that directly to main branch. Down factor of that one was it was in a direct comparison because John had just left us. So I did have 20 people over there and 5 people here. So in that sense, we did have a higher attendance in Southmost. But there is that interest in those types of activities, and there are people that are learning skills that could be applied later. When I went to school, I was an engineering student, so I'm trying to apply a lot of things that I learned in school into the programs that I create now, and so that once they get to school, it's a little bit easier, and it's like, oh, that's similar to what I did over there. Now I just need to do all the calculations as well as the fun part, whatever the program, or whatever project the professor might.
But do you have STEM program out in the summer?
I don't know. I mean, I actually Googled TSC. I know in years past they have. I couldn't say anything this year. I left messages actually.
Have you contacted with anyone from the STEM space program with the ISD?
I have not directly contacted them. I know that some of our programming that I'm going to be doing during summer is going to be with Park and Rec department. They are planning to have several days where they're going to bring the group of kids who will be in their program to come over with us, and I'm going to be having like a crash course or like a fun thing of 3D printing for those
I think
children.
that's space.
Yeah, during their space week is when they're coming over for that.
This is the first year in which we've expanded, I'd say we, as far as the STEM space program has expanded the reading to be where all high schoolers are expected to have so many books read during summer. And if we can get in contact with curriculum specialists and finding out what the reading list is, the requirements for the incoming 9th graders, 10th, 11th, and 12th, and maybe push that as far as having those books as well, access online, possibly online, and having those on the shelves. They will be given these books, but I think too they just see it also being promoted by the public library. I don't know whether you ever have tied in a project or an activity with a book.
Yeah, during our STEAM week, which was during spring break, a lot of our projects were based off of one of the books that we have here in our children's department. And we were able to kind of teach children like, hey, this is what the book is telling us to do, and we did the calculations. And so it's not
have something tied in. And from my understanding, they tried, there are 2 books for every grade level, and one of them is a graphic novel. You can have fun with that somehow.
Well, I'm following up on that. One of the things that we're going to try to do this summer is, there are places that I think it's called a library foundation out of Austin. They have, they're even virtual now, creative writing summer camps. And they're geared for kids like things like riding home to Sophie novel. So like, yeah, that's how I was looking at it, right? And so, yeah, it's gonna be like a week. So, yeah, that's one thing that we're looking at. Yeah, that's a great way.
The NEC used to have the accelerated reader, and we're trying to implement it here with the library. I'll check on that one, too. But that question, is PUB the one that's stopping us from getting those, remember lamp posts and,
No, that is separate now. Right now, we were trying to get them installed, through one of our own city departments, through internal services. But unfortunately, they lost, their electrician, so now they're having to outsource it. And the first round of quotes, they were able to get a company, but they got red flag. So now they're back out for quotes again to get those lamp posts installed.
so how far down the line? are we?
I don't have a time frame for you that I can really tell you. So I know they are working on getting the next set of posters, see if we can get that.
And who does it, with the city?
Yes, our internal services department is working on that.
Thank you. Let me.
Any other comments? Okay, we have reached the end of the meeting, and we have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second the motion.
Everybody, in favor of adjourning the meeting?
And thank you, library staff, you're doing a wonderful, wonderful. job.
Thank you for being involved.
George, how are you doing? How's your wife? Good. Yeah, I know, aren't you? I'm frustrated. I'm talking, I don't stop. I'm scared of